excellent strength and perfect clarity is the 5x5.
It's Real Talk with David and Nikki. Stay tuned for hot topics, gossip, and a little shade on the 5x5.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Real Talk with David and Nikki. But today, I am James Earl Jones, and I'm sitting in with Ilyana Van Zant. How you doing, Ilyana?
Well, all right. Who's life? Because I was seriously thinking, I'm glad you had my back, because I was like, who the heck am I going to be tonight?
No, Ilyana, fix my life, girl. Fix it.
I was going to say, whose life am I about to fix?
your cousin needs a little help. And hey, Icon, friend of the show's in the chat room. Thanks for joining us. And thank all of you for listening to us here live on Blog Talk Radio and also on Spreaker.com. Thank you for the comments, the tweets. We do appreciate it. Check out the Facebook page at the 5x5 and also send Nikki and I a tweet at the 5x5. So, girl, what is going on?
Oh, man, not a whole lot, really, but just trying to, keep up with the Joneses.
Oh, girl, you need to start worrying about the Joneses and try to keep up with the Smiths because the Joneses are too much, Nene. Bloop, bloop, bloop. but I'm trying to get my holiday mojo up and running. I had a friend earlier text me, and he was saying that he was really sad because he doesn't have any family, and the only family he does have is his mother, and she's really dysfunctional. I'm like, whose family isn't dysfunctional? And he's like, that's why he hates the holidays. He has nobody to. I don't know if he was fishing for an invite. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay. I was like, do I invite this person? To not Thanksgiving dinner, but Christmas dinner or something. But Christmas is a little special. But I'm like. But, I just kind of went with it. I listened to him, and I'm like, well, I'm tired of being single in the holidays, and so we kind of talked about that. But I know a lot of people are depressed this time of year. So I said, why don't, this is how you make friends. I know you know somebody in town. I said, why don't you have a small gather? I said, when I lived in Atlanta, I didn't have my family there to celebrate Christmas with me or even Thanksgiving because I was never home for Thanksgiving. So I would have people over my house. We'd play games, have a nice dinner, have some cocktails, and then we'd go to the movies, and then make a night of it and go out. So it was a whole day thing. We celebrated. We enjoyed each other's friendship. And I said, why don't you do that? He's like, oh, I don't want nobody over here. I'm like, boy, then you don't want nobody, period.
Or just like you said, get somebody and go out to the movie or, Starbucks or.
Exactly. And I might make that suggestion to him, like maybe on, because if I'm not working, which I probably am, which doesn't matter, I would be getting off at 12 anyhow, on Thanksgiving. I might work 6 to 12, but I'm planning on going shopping. So I'm going to invite him. I said, let's go grab some coffee at Starbucks and then we'll just go be in the nonsense of the crowd. Because that's fun to me, whether I buy anything or not, just seeing how people act, and there'll be a lot of material for future shows.
Or send them down here and tell them that we can go. I can take them out for coffee.
Girl, he's gay.
We'll have a better time.
Ooh, oh
probably than I do with my straight guys.
He don't want no white mocha. No. But like I said, thank you guys for joining us. Recently on Facebook, there's been so many of these different games going on Facebook. There's one with, have you seen the one that if you mess the riddle up, you
turn into a giraffe?
Yes, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Even if I didn't get the riddle, I'm not putting giraffe on my Facebook profile picture. I think that's stupid. And then the other one was, there was another one. What's the other one? There was another. Oh, you had to put some kind of crazy. Like I think on mine because I did mess up. I said I've had 48 relationships or something like that. And you had to pick from a list.
Okay, I remember that.
And you're not,
right.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say anything. But yesterday I'm reading my update, my Facebook updates, and darling Nikki she was doing one of the games, which the most recent game is you like or comment on somebody's status update that has the same theme, and then they give you a number, and then that number, consequently, you have to give or tell, that many different things about you.
I've been liking people's statuses, right? And I get these numbers, and so I'm up to like 300 darn near.
Girl, everybody knows everything about you, because here's my thing with it. You could only give out so much. I'm going to say something funny about myself that's not really introspective. Y'all need to be up in my business. I think when somebody gave me that number, I put none of your business, really none of your business, and get the picture. But there's
you did that for real, like 5 different times.
I sure did. And I think I kind of wrote, he read it because he commented on it. He thought that was funny. And I'm like, you can't get up in my business like that. But I see even my mother is playing it. I'm like, girl, you need to stop. And so I read, but they're getting out of control, because one of my friends, she puts on there that she pops some rounds off in a club. I'm like, don't be telling people that. Your employers read your Facebook page. Somebody who knows somebody, don't be doing that. And then the other chick was talking about how she cheated on her boyfriend or husband, and then the next one was, I really secretly want him back. And I'm like, girl, stop. That is too much. But
like every night at 8:00, I drive down 38th Street and I'm high as a kite on crack driving.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you don't put that on there.
I mean, that's too much. That's too much. But like I said, Nikki had a few, and I was like, girl, I think some of our 5x5ers would love to know a couple of things that they may not know about you.
I had 30 on there today. Did you see those?
Well, girl, we can't do 30. How about 3?
I'll pick 3 of the ones that I put on there today. But, they're mostly from, like, the past, like high school. And because I noticed that they were from, a few years ago or something like that. Like, I'll go on and say one right now. Because it was kind of funny. A lot of people I went to school with are on my page. And so one of mine was, my first job was at County Seat, which it's kind of like the Gap, but it was called County Seat.
I remember County Seat.
You remember County Seat? And
yeah,
so a friend
I didn't
of mine
know that.
Was like, yeah, well, I was 15 years old. And a friend of mine was like, I worked there too at the same mall. And I'm like, stop it. Are you serious? So, I mean, it was kind of funny because I didn't know that we worked together.
Hey, Nikki's friend, you need to call into the show and let us know the dirt. Did she get fired?
No, but you know what, though? I might have folding up all them darn jeans. But you know what? I am. Years later, like maybe 15, 20 years later, they sent me a check for $15 saying that they forgot to pay. Yeah, some hours.
Look at that. That's a mess. Interesting.
So yeah, that's one of mine. You got one?
Well, mine, and this, you probably don't know this, and I'm a little crazy, and people know I'm crazy, but I would never admit it to them in their face if they ask me. But I am, well, not now, thank God, but years ago, and I had to be it's a 2-part. I'm a firebug, and I'll tell you why I'm a firebug. I used to set things on fire. Did you know that? Yes. So years ago, my parents were they went to the store or something, or they were somewhere, and I remember we had remember that big breakfast nook we had in our kitchen, and there was some toilet paper on it. I guess I was putting it up. I don't know why the toilet paper was on the breakfast nook in the kitchen, but anyhow, and so I something told me to set it on fire. Well, that house was haunted, so I probably was possessed. But I light it, and then my parents drive up, and then I thought I had got it. I had put it out. And so while they come to the door, I turn around, and the whole roll of toilet paper is up in a big blaze. Yes, my mother was like, "You
no.
trying to burn down the house? What's wrong with you?" So of course I got a whooping and all that kind of stuff. And then, but I would go outside. I would take the lighter fluid for grilling and stuff. I would make these trenches, small trenches, and there'd be a hole at the end of the trench, and I would put worms in it or some kind of bug, and then I would like you know how you see on some of these shows that somebody starts a fire and the trail of fire goes and makes a big explosion. I was trying to recreate that and blow up worms in my backyard. I was such a firebird. But the reason why I think that I did that when I was a kid, I was probably 5, maybe 6 years old. I wasn't very big. That's when me and my sister, we still shared a bedroom. She had a top bunk. I had the bottom bunk. And you probably don't really remember. You've been in that house. You probably don't remember it. But anyhow, and so for my birthday, my grandmother had bought me some Star Trek pajamas. I remember it had Captain Kirk on there. If I still had those, it'd probably be worth some money. It had Captain Kirk on there, Spock.
Were they flannel jammies?
No, they were like, I don't know, kind of material. They was really kind of, they wasn't silk, but they might have been rayon. But I don't know if they was using rayon back then. And so one night I'm laying in my bed after, maybe a couple of days after my birthday, because I finally put them on because I loved them. And so there, I see a spark. Okay, I see a spark up under the sheets. And I'm like, what is that? And so the more I moved, and it was actually static electricity making sparks, but this had a lot in it. And so I thought I was on fire. Okay. And so the more I'm moving, the whole bedroom has turned blue, because they were blue, had these blue sparks shooting off me. And I remember going to my mother and my dad, jumping in their bed and saying, "I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm on fire," and spinning around. And I remember my dad holding me up with one arm and stripping them off of me. And then the last thing I remember saying, because I wasn't on fire, I'm like, "I'm never going to wear those again," and I didn't. So maybe that's why I had this connection with fire. That's my kind of, nobody really knows that. Or my sister knows it, and my parents know it. But I think that's why I'm kind of a firebug.
I'll start calling you Sparkle Socks.
Okay. Just fire started. Drew Barrymore don't get shit on me.
Wow. Well, I used to light like little leaves on fire. You know, you take the magnifying glass and you get in the sun and outside and you take a leaf
and you burn something.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Oh, see, you're just as crazy as I am.
So it must run in the family.
Okay, just fire starters all up in the family. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back, and you'll find out a few more things that you didn't know about Nikki and I. We'll be right back.
I'm Darlene Nikki, and you're listening to Real Talk on the 5x5.
Never get the flu.
My kids don't need more shots.
I don't have time.
We're all healthy.
My asthma's under control.
I'm pregnant. I've had the flu. It's not a big deal.
My kids are too old for flu.
The media is exaggerating.
I can fight it naturally.
No matter how you build your excuses, the flu can blow your house down. Keep your foundation strong. Vaccinate. Learn more at flu.gov.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Well, you left home the other night. I won't see you for a couple days, but I still leave on all the lights, and all your stuff is still in place where you left it. Through that door, but every time I go to check, well, you're not there, and I swear not to fall for that no more. And I say, oh my God, could this be? Is love finally tripping me? I'm falling for you. And if I die before I wake, the dreams of you were my escape. I'm falling. Whoa. Lights, an empty room that shines upon me, just laying in my bed. Is every memory of you? Well, all night long since you've been gone is running through my head, and I say, oh my God, could this be? Is love finally tripping me? I'm falling for you.
So we're talking about things that you may or may not know about us. So since you probably don't know us, my friend in the chat room, Mike, he probably knows some things. I've told him some things about me. But and Nikki, I guess, we're cousins. If you guys haven't listened to the show before, we've been knowing each other since we were very young, of course. And some things I didn't know that she burned leaves in her front yard. And in the chat room, they were saying, she said she was no Angela Bassett over here. Whatever. Shoot, 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 do.
I really liked the movie, but no, I didn't go to that extreme. I'm not like in prison or nothing. No
okay.
Left eye or nothing like that.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyhow.
Okay. No, them days are gone.
We got plenty of time left.
No, but I could feel for her when she did that. I was like, oh no.
And that was on the other night too, and I watched it up until that point. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that was so good. And then, but Whitney Houston's in there, and the acting was so horrible. I'm like, ugh, can't stand that. But anyhow, what else you have?
Wow. Let me look at some of the ones that I posted today. Let's see. None compared to your, wow. Oh, okay. Let me tell you about, I put one on my page today. Okay. Prom. I went to 2 proms, my junior and senior year, and the first one, I bet you don't know this, actually. The first one, the whole family followed us in their car, followed me and my date to the prom. Yes, from where we live to the other opposite side of town. Yeah, the whole family. I mean, like not just mom and dad, but we're talking the whole family.
I can see your mom doing it, but everybody. Everybody, yeah. And so I would, cause see the guy that I was going with, he was like, well, I really don't know where the place is, and I'm kind of just looking. I'm not really thinking, anything. And so they all start getting in the car, said they're gonna follow us, and I'm like, so we got up to the place. He pulled up to the place, and we got out, and we walked all the way to where the ballroom was. It was in the hotel, and so he looks out the window, and he's like, "There's your mom right there." I said, "What?" But it wasn't. That is so crazy. Oh, okay.
So the next year we went. I went with a different guy, of course, that knew the damn directions to look. So anyway, I went with this guy, and he was a cousin of Babyface, actually. And so he got to drive Babyface's car, which was a 1989 Pontiac Fiero, to the prom.
With you in it?
Yeah, we drove. Yeah, he drove to the car. Prom.
Get out!
But
very cool.
He borrowed Babyface's car. You didn't know that, did you?
Now that I didn't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. Another one of mine is I am terrified of heights now. I don't know when when it happened, But in my adult years, 'cause I used to ride roller coasters and do all the kind of crazy stuff to jump out of swings. But I think it happened in my mid to late 30s, I developed an aversion for heights. And I remember going to a party. It was New Year's 2008. And we go to a high rise in Atlanta, and this person lived just about to the top floor. And so I wanted to smoke, and I didn't know, I didn't have anything. So I walk out into the balcony, and I look down, and my knees buckle, and I almost pass out. And my friend's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I haven't had anything to drink yet." So, and then ever since then, heights, the sensation of my stomach dropping terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me. Yeah, and I'm not scared of nothing. So that's big for me. And a lot of people don't know that.
Well, I didn't know that because, that's kind of on my, I'm not going skydiving, smart ass. That's like on my list of things to do because, like, I want to go skydiving and I want to do the zip line thing. So I guess you won't be coming with me.
I'll be at the bottom. I'll be at the bottom waiting for you. Okay. I'm like, here she come. No. No. And I can tolerate seeing stuff and looking at stuff, but at me being up and knowing there's nothing, that's why I'm probably not going to fly.
No wonder. No wonder you don't like to fly. I'm fine if I'm there, but I think my mind works too much, and that's one of my biggest problems. It works too much. But that's about it. And what else is there? I don't think I have any more really that I wanted to divulge. This is one that nobody knows. I am a smoker. There's two people on this earth that know. My niece and my nephew. I picked my niece up from I picked her for something. I don't think she had her own car at the time. And so I don't like to litter. And so I always have like a bottle of water. It's gross, I know. Don't get mad and don't judge me. I put and yes, it is an anxiety icon. I put my cigarette butts in the water because I don't want to litter and I don't want to get butts and stuff in my car. And so one day we're driving and I had bought a bottle of water. And so this thing was kind of filled up and I'm talking, running my mouth like I always do. And I actually drank the butt water instead of the regular water. Isn't that gross? Yes. Oh no, not the butt water.
It was the cigarette butt water. So totally, and I wanted to throw up, but then I couldn't spit. There was nowhere to spit, and that was like totally gross. And here's my niece and my nephew. They're cracking up, thinking that's the funniest thing they've ever seen. I'm like, I will put y'all out on the street. Y'all will be walking. We were coming back. I think is when we went and seen the first Avengers together, and that was when it happened. That was like last year.
It's funny how life comes full circle. You're putting your butts out in the water because you don't want to start a fire. But yes. I used to start fires, huh? Well, give me one of your Prince ones. You had a pretty funny Prince one. Oh man. Which one? Oh, okay. This is probably the fun. Well, I don't know which one you're thinking, but this was a funny one. I went to the movies with a guy in high school, and we went to the movie, and it was the time when Sign of the Times was out, and he had a song called If I Was Your Girlfriend, and in one of the lyrics is we could go to the movies and cry together, because like we're so in love and all this stuff. So anyway, I went to the movies with this guy in high school, and it was kind of like a love kind of movie or whatever, and I cried in the movie. I looked over and he wasn't crying. And I'm like, what the heck? And I got mad. And I'm like, I kind of took the lyrics kind of literal. And I'm like, you weren't crying in the movie. You don't love me. You're supposed to be crying in the movie.
I read that and I really thought, I'm like, oh my God, my cousin is certifiable. I'm like, she really did that? Girl, if you had called me with some nonsense like that, I would have talked about you.
And I
That's
gave him
amazing.
the hardest time for that. I was so upset. I was like, he doesn't love me.
Because he didn't cry at this chick flick that you're over there bawling your eyes out, and he didn't cry because you have attitude.
Yep, I sure did. You know me.
That's really a hot mess. It's really a hot mess. Well, there's a few things that you guys may and may not known about Nikki and I. I'm sure there's more, but like I said, I'm not going to divulge any extra. And I don't know if Nikki is, but you guys, when you're on your Facebook pages, treat this little game funny, because I don't want to read all your personal business like that, because all it's going to do is make me think you're crazy and make me talk about you, because I will talk about you on this show.
I got another one real quick, because Icon, our friend in the chat room, said that you were talking about being afraid of heights. He said that he would go zip lining with me if I wanted to go. So that's one of the things that's on my 40 list. I call it a 40 list, like a bucket list. I want to go zip lining in Las Vegas. Well, I see some people and they'll do the zip lining over water, like, I don't know, in nice, places, like Belize or whatever, and they'll do it over the water. So I was saying I would never do that, because this is one thing that people probably don't know about me. I can't swim. I love water. I love to look at water. I love to be in water, but I cannot swim. Like, I could do water aerobics. It's something about my feet not touching the ground. I can't swim.
Wow. Do you just sink?
The last time I tried, he said, "Oh Lord, another black person that can't swim." Honey, if I was ever to go under any kind of body of water, I just consider me gone, because I'll be honest with you, it's like a psychological thing, because I tried it again. I tried it again when I was so maybe I am certified overlook. I tried it again when I was in college, and we had a class, and we all went over to the swimming pool. And my buddy was like, "Well, just put on a jacket, or one of them things." And I was like, "Okay," and I just couldn't do it. It's something about
even with the life preserver,
control.
you couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's not I don't think it's a physical thing, because it's something about losing control. Because, see, back then I was a lot thinner. Now that I'm a little heavier, since college, I haven't ever tried it. But, I think it's just a mind thing. It's like mind over body.
Wow. See, my thing wouldn't be that. It would be more like drowning, because I have a fear of choking. I don't know if you know that. I have a fear of choking or suffocating. They say that your biggest fear, that's probably the way you're going to die. So I'll probably choke on a chicken. No, I don't eat. See, and that's why I don't eat chicken with bones in it, because I don't want to choke on a chicken bone. And that's
Are you serious? Now you never told me that.
That's certifiable.
But
I don't
you
eat
told
chicken.
Me that you were telling me about your problems at KFC and stuff, and you said you told them I do not eat bone-in chicken, and I'm like, why doesn't he?
Don't.
I said, oh, he must have been the one behind the campaign to get boneless chicken.
Okay, girl, I can't take it. And if the rare occasion that I will, it'll be a breast, and I will pull all the chicken off before so it's not touching the bone. Yeah, and that happened late in life too, because I remember as a kid eating drumsticks and stuff like that. I won't eat wings because there's veins and stuff in them. I don't eat dark meat because there's veins in it.
Okay, now you did tell me that. Okay.
Yeah, but the whole bone thing is, I can't handle it. But real quick update, we did a show a few months ago about Trayvon Martin. I wanted to say this. George Zimmerman is getting his karma. He's in trouble again. His girlfriend, which I thought he was married, but I guess she divorced him. His girlfriend, he pulled a gun on her, so he's sitting in jail. So that's what you did, George Zimmerman. We don't like you. We hope you rot in prison.
Yeah, they need to just keep him in jail now.
And Nicole flashed a delivery driver today. Did y'all know that?
Yeah, that's one of the most recent things people don't know.
But thank you guys for listening. We're running out of time. So hopefully you find some things that you didn't know about us. Check us out next week. We'll be doing some more holiday-themed episodes, hopefully. Check out The Crew on Thursday nights. There's going to be a good episode for you guys this Thursday. And join us each week. And what else?
I think that's it, folks.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Check us out on Facebook at The 5x5 or tweet us at The 5x5 or go to Recycle Blog Talk for past shows. Thanks for tuning in.